So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm glad I didn't wear the same shirt because that would have been kind of awkward. Did you see me? I was in the data center pointing at drives. I got my data center access revoked after that video. So they don't let marketing people in the data center, I guess. So thank you so much for having us here. Hewlett-Packard is a great company to work for, and it's a great company because we have such a big partner ecosystem. So we're very glad to work with Veeam. And when I was watching Ratmir's keynote yesterday, and I was really psyched about the theme of sci-fi, because you might be surprised with this, but I'm a huge sci-fi nerd. My family always makes fun of me. It's like if the book doesn't have a map or a glossary in the front, or a family tree, if it doesn't come with sort of like a 14-book series, I'm not into it. So for me, I love sci-fi, and for us at HP, when we talk about the idea economies, for me, science fiction and the idea economy kind of run in parallel. I kind of view the idea economy as sort of the literary, science fiction is the literary form of the idea economy. So when you think about technologies like the transporter room in Star Trek, right? That's like our modern day Uber. So Kirk and the fellas are getting ready to go down to Nebulon 4 on a Friday night, right? Jump in the transporter, like transporter surge pricing, right? So something like transporter pool, that might get a little messy. But for me, all these things are coming to fruition. Hoverboards, we talked about Back to the Future yesterday. So all these possibilities. So I love sci-fi just because it's got great science in it. It's all these technical possibilities that we can make come true. And for me, that's always about what's next. Who's out there, right? Are they going to be good? Are they going to come here and eat our brains? Is there life on other planets? Are they going to come down to us and sort of hand us the actual calculus that says 1 + 1 actually equals 3, right? Are they going to help us with our deadly bacon problem, that came out this past week? Really, really important things to think about. So the way that we're jumping into this new idea economy is we're really taking a look at how Hewlett-Packard Enterprise can help our customers sort of navigate this idea economy and all the change that's going on in their marketplaces. So we have what we call 4 transformation areas where we're investing our engineering dollars and our go-to-market and our best and brightest to help our customers pivot into this new IT as a service. So hybrid IT, this is people optimizing traditional IT, building self-service, agile infrastructure. They're virtualizing, they're automating, they're getting agility for their business applications through DevOps. So transform is a huge area. Protect. This is a very timely topic, obviously, for this conference, where we want to be able to provide backup and data protection, as well as security for all of your online information, whether it's in your data center, whether it's outside of your data center, whether it's on your mobile device. Thirdly, another area that we're taking a look at is empowering. So empowering the data-driven enterprise. So being able to provide the right infrastructure, mine your data for actionable insights, and sort of really drive data management and efficiency at scale for very large amounts of data. And finally, what we're trying to do is bring all 4 of those together through enablement. Connectivity at the edge, right, with great technologies like Aruba. I don't know if there's some Aruba practitioners and users in the room. Great solutions around virtual desktop, remote office computing. So basically being able to take all those things around transformation, protect, and empowering the digital enterprise to your fingertips in any sort of manner that you choose. So this is a journey that we've been on for quite some time, and we're really excited to move that forward with Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. So how does that apply to storage? For storage, we've been on a sort of a 5+ year journey around our storage strategy, and we call it the storage strategy that provides choice without compromise. So we have 2 design centers that we introduce in our product line. One design center is around what we call system defined. So you want to buy and deploy a system that provides you quality of service, SLAs, a really good support experience, a very well-known performance envelope, and then you have software defined, right? A fabric that's going to be able to run on any type of infrastructure, provide you the best cost, some of the best scalability, and you want those 2 to work together, right? So we have our system-defined offering with 3PAR. I'm sure you guys, a lot of you folks have either deployed 3PAR or are familiar with that solution. And our Store Virtual, which is our software-defined data center storage fabric. And that comes with the availability to take those technologies in different forms in models, right? So we have a number of customers that deploy infrastructure with flexibility, right? So you can take your servers, your networking, your storage, put those in large building blocks, or you can move to sort of this new world of hyper-convergence, right, where you give up some of the flexibility, but you gain on speed for time to deployment, very simple support experience. But for us, being able to provide those system-defined architectures and software-defined architectures in some of these new ways, in these new deployment models is providing choice and flexibility for our customers. We think that's a winning strategy. The key to this, though, is being able to have a common set of data services that brings those two together. So one day you may have a workload that needs to sit on, all flash array, very low latency, high performance storage. Maybe after a month, that workload can be moved over to your software-defined, which is more cost-effective, right? So being able to provide data services to move primary workloads, as well as move them between your primary storage and your secondary storage, is something that we're providing to the market. And I think most importantly, being able to administer that through common interfaces. So for us at HP, we rally around OneView, which is our framework to be able to manage hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of server implementations, tens of thousands of network ports, petabytes of storage, all under one common look and feel and one framework. It's very scalable, but also taking a look at what other people are doing for frameworks in terms of OpenStack, Microsoft, VMware, so putting the management lens into the application that they're most familiar with, right? And then what brings it all together for us is integrating this great technology and this great framework with incredible partners like Veeam. And we'll talk a little bit about how we're doing that. So when we talk about availability, data protection, our view on this is that primary and secondary storage are getting smashed together from a user experience, right? They provide different sort of capabilities around data footprint, performance envelopes, but really at the end of the day, customers want their primary storage to work better with their secondary storage. So we have this concept of federating your primary storage and secondary storage. So in this case, 3PAR and Store Once. And then providing an API to be able to facilitate that rapid data movement for the purposes of backup, DR, and then back again. So really what we're providing is sort of 5 tenets in this relationship. Application-centric, so we're enabling seamless recovery of applications from within your application context. Use cases, so all different use cases. So some people need backup, some people need DR, some people need archiving, some people now want actual data reuse. So Veeam is big on the sandboxing feature. Some people call it DevOps, copy data management. So this is becoming more of a prolific use case. The third is around RTO and RPO driven SLAs. So these are becoming much more strict. The data sets are becoming larger, so it's hard to adhere to these, and you want to be able to place an SLA on a set of data and have that travel with it through the life cycle of the data. Federation, we talked about that a little bit before. Federating platforms so you can move workloads between them. Sort of, in some ways, that's the way Veeam Instant On works with our Store Virtual and our 3PAR capabilities with Instant On, so you'll be able to take a workload off of secondary storage and move it back to primary. So all these concepts of federating workloads. And then sort of this is a topic that many customers are asking about is how is your system cloud ready? So if I want to be able to implement in a hybrid manner, so have some of my assets and some of my applications run on premises and I want to move them off, do you have a solution for me that's flexible, can run in either a managed private cloud or a public cloud, and be able to provide me that type of flexibility? So these are areas that we're innovating on and partnering with Veeam. So really what we're doing to deliver on this vision with Veeam is delivering really tightly integrated solutions. So here you have a typical application stack with a hypervisor. Maybe that's running on hyper-converged infrastructure, maybe that's running in more of a network model. But what we're allowing you to do is focus on a couple of key areas. So number one, being able to really drive down your RTO and RPO through snapshot integration. Like Scott mentioned before, we were one of the first vendors to integrate with Veeam on the snapshot front. So we have integration with Store Virtual and 3PAR. So you drive down to 5-minute snapshot RPO objectives, and that's going to provide you very granular recovery, through Veeam Explorer, and then you can use the sandboxing feature to make copies of that data available for developers and for test. So that's pretty cool. Second, we just sort of announced in last month or two, and I think Anton mentioned this yesterday in his What's New in Veeam 9 session, is our integration with StoreOne's Catalyst. So Catalyst is our deduplication framework. So for us, it's running our dedupe engine anywhere in the enterprise, whether it's at the edge, in the core systems, right next to your application server. So we're integrating our Catalyst framework within Veeam to provide very fast backup, and obviously the data reduction footprint that a purpose-built backup appliance like StoreOne's will give your secondary storage. So those are some great use cases. And other areas that we're innovating too is around, some people call it tertiary storage, right? So you have an option to write out to LTO7, right? So it's still the most economic media for long-term archival of data. Or you could choose to partner with some of our mutual partners, so managed service providers in the service provider community, to be able to back up to the cloud for the purposes of DR and maybe your best last known copy of your backup data. So a lot of tight integration we're doing here in terms of being able to provide very rapid application restore, very cost-effective and fast secondary storage to house your backups, and then being able to provide a number of different use cases for DR and archiving together. So we've been working on this ecosystem for about 2 years now, and it's really shown the fruits of our labor between two fantastic engineering teams within HP Storage and within Veeam. So I'm very proud of the work that we've done over the last 2 years here. So, we've taken that technology and we've applied it to a number of customers, which is always great. I know that, I think I mentioned in my video there that Veeam is growing at, they've got over 150,000 customers, and that growth is phenomenal. Some of the stats that Ratmir mentioned yesterday in the keynote. So a couple of customers that I want to highlight was Vodafone in the Netherlands. They're the third largest mobile phone company in the Netherlands. They have 24/7 service needs like any telco would, and they've experienced major growth. So 3x data growth. They're 90% virtualized, so 90% of their environment is running, applications are running on VMs. Their legacy backup architecture couldn't scale for backup SLAs, and it couldn't scale for monitoring, right, which is a huge thing for driving down the cost of managing their infrastructure. And that basically meant that their backups were failing. So they deployed Veeam Availability Suite with our Store Virtual technology. It improved their RPO and RTO for backups, where they were able to recover directly from Store Virtual snapshots. And they were also able to restore at individual file granularity, and every VM in their environment now is protected. So big win at Vodafone, pretty cool use case. If anybody wants more information on them, we can provide it. And then another is Silgan Containers. They're the largest provider of metal food packaging in North America. They're a big manufacturing site with, you can only imagine the number of sites they have around the world, right? So a big issue for them is remote backups, bringing that data together. So we provided them an end-to-end solution. So Store Virtual Arrays, Store Virtual VSAs, Store Once, and Veeam all together. So you can think about primary storage in a service-refined manner, in a software-defined manner, secondary storage, and Veeam that ties that whole solution together. So VSA for them in their remote offices actually turned existing infrastructure that they had, so server SAN, into a storage array solution. And then we're able to remotely manage that through Veeam and provide a comprehensive data protection between the solutions. So pretty cool win with Silgan. And again, if you guys want any more information on those, we can definitely provide it. So those are just two of some really fantastic user stories that we have out there. We have thousands of joint customers together with Veeam. And in fact, in 2015 alone, we added over 1,000 joint customers. And what I see is a number of customers that are growing in size. So their technology needs and their infrastructure needs are growing non-uniformly in terms of their data explosion and some of the SLAs and data protection needs that they have. So we're seeing a number of customers come from sort of traditional Veeam SMB customers who are growing, who are becoming mid-range enterprise customers, and that's where they're directly intersecting with HP. So I see this, hopefully we'll come back next year and have a bigger, much bigger number here in terms of joint customers. I'll be really proud to get up here and do that. Also, it's been a busy year for HP storage. So we have, on the HP side, we've been innovating and really getting into the battle lines and really riding this momentum around all flash. So we're number one in mid-range SAN arrays with 3PAR. So 3PAR all flash has been a huge success for us in the market. We're leading in flash. We're the fastest growing all flash array vendor. This year we grew 500% year over year in that category. So it's amazing proliferation in terms of people implementing flash, right? Whether I'm going to implement flash is not a question of, it's basically how fast I can get there to the all-flash data center. So we're there to help those customers make those transitions. We're number two in external storage and actually number one in overall storage shipped. So if you take a look at all the capacity that's shipped from vendors in the market, HP is number one. So you combine external storage and all the servers and direct attached storage that we provide. We're number one in the market. And we're leaders in 4 of the storage-related Magic Quadrants. So general purpose arrays, all flash arrays, backup appliance, and converged systems. So we've experienced an amazing amount of growth in the last 2 years. HP is the only storage vendor in the market to grow share in all of the last 7 quarters, right? So if you're looking to re-architect your data center for all flash, take a look at how convergence and hyperconvergence is affecting you, how you make that transition to software-defined. HP's here to help you along the way. And so Veeam and HP continue to deliver compelling solutions to drive new levels of availability in the enterprise. So with our over 1,100 joint customers in 2015, our growth with Veeam represents over 123% year-over-year growth. Really looking forward to FY16 and making this an even bigger number and even more successful outcome for our customers and the two companies together. So with that, we are going to become a new company on Monday morning. So they're going to ring the bell, right, at the exchange, Meg and the executive team, and we're going to be Hewlett Packard Enterprise. So for us, there's obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in the industry right now. People consolidating, people making acquisitions, people divesting of certain technology areas. We put this in motion, a while ago, and I feel like we're very well positioned for helping our customers transition to IT as a service as Hewlett Packard Enterprise, and we can, really delve in and help solve those key problems, with all the smart people we have in HP Labs and all the great people that we have in engineering. So we're unique, equally strong in servers, right? Networking, software, and as well as our sort of galactic reach around services, as well as really important for our customers. So it's exciting times, requiring a new approach. So back to those transformation areas, as HP, we're going to pivot into Hewlett Packard Enterprise, right? We are taking on a new color, right? It could be familiar to some of you guys. And we're really focused on helping transforming customers to hybrid infrastructure, protecting our digital assets. That's where our partnerships with Veeam are extremely, extremely important, to provide that level of availability in the data center, as well as all the security solutions we have. Empowering the data-driven organization with analytics and managing that huge explosive data growth for semi-structured and unstructured data, as well as enabling workforce productivity with incredible solutions like Aruba and VDI and remote desktop management. So future's bright for Hewlett Packard Enterprise. I'd like to thank the Veeam folks for a great partnership, not only on the go-to-market side as well as the engineering side. And stay tuned this year because we have a lot more exciting product and integration announcements to make that'll hopefully make your lives easier as data center practitioners. So again, thank you so much for your time, and enjoy your conference.